Hello and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we are going to be making just an easy white bread in our bread machine. I'm Dawn and I'm living the Newcomb life. So in all honesty, we don't use our bread machine very much anymore because we are not eating a lot of carbs, and we also pack it away so it's not super easy to get out. But today, I'm going to make a loaf of white bread. And this is a very simple, easy thing to do when you're looking for some bread. So we're going to start out. This is our container for my bread machine. Now our bread machine is probably somewhere around 30 years old, but still works great. And so the one thing you always want to remember when you're baking bread in your bread machine, before you put your ingredients in your container, be sure that you put your paddle in there and lock it in. So ours has a little D shape inside, and then of course there is a little post in the bottom that is the same shape. You want to put it in and you want to give it a little turn to make sure it's seated. So now we're going to add our ingredients. And the one thing that you want to remember when making bread is that you want to put in a bread machine anyway, you want to put your dry ingredients in first. So what we're going to do is I have some water here. We want our water at about 120 degrees. So we're going to look here. So we're a little bit warm. So I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of cold water. So I didn't want my water to cool off too much while I was talking to you all, so I made it a little extra hot. But we want it somewhere between 120 and 130 degrees. If we're too warm, then we'll kill our yeast. Okay, I think we got it now. So like I said, we want our water to be somewhere between 120 and 130. So we're right at 130, although this container is pretty cool, so I believe when I put this in here, the temperature is going to go down anyway. So we're going to put in our water. So we had 1 cup of water. And then we have avocado oil here. That's what we use. So I'm adding in 3 tablespoons of avocado oil to our container here. And then, put this away. And then we are going to add in our bread flour. Now this recipe calls for 3 cups of bread flour. You can buy bread flour at your local grocery store. Or if you're adventurous enough, you can make your own. I've never done that. So we have 1, and I am making a mess. Really making a mess. Oh. 2, and we're going to get 1 more cup of bread flour. Okay, so we have our 3 cups of bread flour. I'm going to get this cleaned up and I'll be right back. Okay, so now we're going to add our the rest of our dry ingredients. So we have our flour in here, and the way I've always been taught to do this is that you want to make yourself a little well in your flour. You don't want to break through to the water underneath, but you want to make a little well. And so what we're going to do is we have 3 tablespoons of sugar. And we have 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and we use Redmond salt. And then we're going to create this well again. And we're going to place our yeast in this little well, and we're going to cover it up. We have 2.25 teaspoons of yeast, and it's the Fleischmann's bread machine instant yeast. And we're going to put that down in our well. And then what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of kick a little bit of our dry ingredients over top of it. That kind of keeps the yeast protected just for a short period of time while the bread machine is doing its thing. Okay, so now we have all of our ingredients in our canister and ready to go in our bread machine. We simply drop this in here and it snaps down in. Hear it? Then we're going to close this, and we're going to assure we're plugged in here. And then we are going to do white bread. We're going to select. We're going to actually put it on medium and on light, because this bread machine tends to make our crust a little bit dark. So we're going to put it on light. We're going to put it on rapid. We're going to put it on large. And we're going to then press start. And I don't know if you can hear that, but our bread machine is now lightly kneading our dough or mixing it all together. And we have 2 hours and 40 minutes on the timer. So we'll check back in about 2 hours and 40 minutes. Okay, so our bread is done in our bread machine and it is ready to come out, and it looks beautiful. I'm going to grab a towel here, grab our handle, and so there's our bread. It's looking beautiful. Let's see, I'll share it with you all. See how beautiful that looks? Okay, so we're just going to take it and shake it and bring it out of our canister to cool. It does need to cool for a little while, because if not, when you go to cut the bread, it will actually kind of collapse the bread. So we want to give it a little time to rest and cool. So I'm going to go ahead and get this out of the canister, and then we'll come back in just a few to take a look. All right, we have our beautiful loaf of bread all ready to cool. We'll see you back here in just a few. Okay, our bread is now cool, and we have this nifty little gadget. We got this probably about 30 years ago when we got our bread machine. But the cool thing about this is that you can take your bread and you can either put it this way or you can lay it down this way, and it gives you a guide to cut your bread so that you can do either thick slices or thin slices, but you can kind of get it somewhat even. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cut a slice so we can take a taste test. And I'm the only one here right now, so it's just gonna be me. So we're gonna get this sliced up and we're gonna take a taste test. Look at that slice of bread. It is beautiful and smells wonderful. This is a nice thick slice of bread. I'm just going to take a small piece. The crust on the bread is nice and light, a little thicker around the bottom, but still very nice. The inside is very tender. Oh my goodness, this is so good. Still a little warm, but delicious. If you guys have a bread machine, definitely try this recipe out. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video or like videos like this, give me a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button and come on back for more. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.